one, then I'll bring us in.
Cool.
So right now it's just me and you talking. It's now going to my streamer, and it's rebroadcasting across all those pages. So I just gotta wait for it to hook up.
I got it.
If you got it, go ahead and share it.
I'm gonna.
And when you are ready, we're blowing it up. I'm gonna have to one day come up with some really cool music. And we are back! Here I am, Fly Navarro, joining you with the No BS World Tour. Today, we have a very special guest. We have Vinnie LaSorsa in the house. Welcome, Vinnie. How are you, sir?
Thank you for having me, Fly.
No worries. Vinny, while I reach this across all of the social media world, can you please let everybody know not only who you are, but who you're representing today while we're coming at you live here on, you know what, the No BS World Tour. That's where we're going because we're everywhere.
All right, so No BS World Tour. Hello, everyone. My name is Vinnie LaSorsa. I'm a captain. I work for the singer-songwriter Jimmy Buffett. I'm also here representing an organization called Freedom Fighter Outdoors. Freedom Fighter Outdoors is a nonprofit that we started that honors and empowers injured veterans. We take injured veterans on fishing and hunting trips. The other organization that I'm here to talk to you a little about at some point is Last Mango Boat Works. And Last Mango is it's been one of Jimmy's boats in his fleet for a long time. And we just started a brand apparel line, and all the profits are going to go to charity.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And you guys, well, we're going to talk a little bit about that as I'm sharing this. But you guys have also partnered up with somebody else, and that's how. Now we've known each other, we have met, but you were brought back in front of me because of an organization. We might as well throw it out now because I know he's watching and he's chomping at the bit. So let's go ahead. You can announce who you guys are also teaming up with to provide some really good efforts for in this COVID-19 crazy mayhem lockdown, whatever you want to call it, that we're going through right now. So go ahead, throw it out there.
All right. So we teamed up with Save the Charter Boats. Cody Holcomb and his wife Brooke Holcomb. I probably talked to them a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, about what we could do to help the charter boat captains who are suffering due to negatively of being affected by COVID-19. And Freedom Fighter Outdoors and Last Mango Boat Works are making a contribution, and the every charter boat captain on the upcoming raffles is going to benefit from our contribution. But we have one. We introduced a charter boat captain out of Montauk, New York, named Skip Rudolph to Cody, and Save the Charter Boats is going to have a raffle for the Adios charter boat, which is Captain Skip Rudolph, on Friday. And that was kind of a neat part of this dynamic, is that we got Skip hooked up with Cody, because that's going to mean a lot to Skip.
So, and it's so funny because when Cody said that there was a charter boat that he was bringing in from Montauk, I says, "Is it Skip Rudolph by any chance?" He goes, "How do you know Skip Rudolph?" And it's like, well, Skip used to live down here in South
In Miami.
Florida, right here in Palm Beach County.
Yeah.
Right here in Palm Beach County, a long time ago. Well, I say a long time ago. 20 years ago. 15, 20 years ago. So, and let's see. I see Bouncer Smith is in here. Did you see my interview with Bouncer on Saturday?
No, but I will watch it.
Oh my God! So I just loaded it up to YouTube right now. I had such a good time talking about Save the Charter Boats and longevity. You think about somebody like Captain Bouncer Smith. He has been around forever. Not only is he a living legend, but there's just so many people that look up to him.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few people that has more stories than I do. I mean, that guy has a story literally for everything. And I got a story for everything, but I was also taught a long time ago, don't ever let the truth get in the way of a good story. So It's 50-50. You could be getting the truth. You could be getting a fishing story, a fishing tale. You never know with me. One way or another, I'm going to keep you laughing, or at least I'm going to try to keep you laughing. I said it once before on one of my videos. I'm just like a comedian, but I'm shorter. Bouncer Smith says he knew Skip in diapers. So there you go. All right, so we've thrown everything out there, but let's break this down into little subsections. First of all, you run The Last Mango for Jimmy Buffett, the singer-songwriter,
Yes, sir.
which most people know. How many boats do you guys have?
Right now, what I'm in charge of right now is a 42 Freeman pilot house, a 33 Freeman pilot house. Oh, sorry about that.
Man, hey, listen, that's what. This is it. That's the whole point of it being live. And it's so funny because this is live and it's not a big deal. But when I do my videos for my how-tos, I always tell everybody, listen, if your phone rings, if the dog jumps on your lap, I don't care. We're continuing it. I'm not stopping. So we roll camera no matter what. So if your phone rings, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Sorry about the ring notification.
No. It's all good. I love it. I love it.
So anyway, I got a 42 pilot house that we just did that collaboration with Freeman and Merritt. I got a 33 pilot house, which Freeman did, and then we got an 18 Hell's Bay. That's what I'm in charge of. But Jimmy's got other sailboats. We got a guy named Joey Mello. He takes care of the sailboats. And then there's Spider Andresen, which I'm sure somewhere through the line, there's people watching, or you might know Spider. Spider's kind of like an iconic legend, founder of Saltwater Sportsman. Spider's our fleet captain, or Jimmy's fleet captain, my boss.
Your boss.
Spider's my boss.
Okay, so it works in a tier. Okay, cool. We got I got stuff coming in all over the place. Brooke Holcomb happens to fly all the time. Yeah, my phone never stops, as you can tell. We were right before we came live. I was a few minutes late because my phone was bouncing all over the place. I had just gone live on my Instagram because it was hailing out here. We have a thunderstorm roll through, and there was hail going on, and my dog was freaking out. So I had to calm her down. So I decided I was going to introduce her to Instagram. So she did it. She did a very good job. I'm keeping her. So all right. So you work for Jimmy, but now tell us a little bit about Freedom Fighters Outdoors.
So Freedom Fighter Outdoors is a 501c3 that we started in February of 2014. We had been taking injured veterans on fishing trips since May of 2009, but we finally incorporated and made ourselves legit in February of 2014. What we do is we have 4 or 5 big fishing trips a year, and those are 25 to 30 veterans 4 or 5 times a year. They're in Florida, New York. We've done other fishing trips in North Carolina and other places, but our big ones are basically Florida and New York. And we do a few small hunting trips a year. And I say small because the hunting trips are anywhere from 1 to 7 veterans. They're not as large as our fishing trips, just because it goes more one-on-one attention and depends on the size of the property. Or bird hunts are our biggest one. We got like 7 to 10 guys maybe on a bird hunt, or a pheasant hunt. But that's what we do. We get injured veterans back out in the outdoors, camaraderie through meeting other veterans.
Keep talking. I'm answering questions and getting them to you. So please, if you see my eyes wandering, like I told you, I'm just kind of...
I'll keep talking.
No, keep talking, brother. Keep talking.
So what we do is we do these injured veteran events. Like I said, we've done everything from outdoor music festivals and anything outdoors related. We tend to get a part of. If there's an invitation to do something, we got a whole database of veterans. We'll send them there. But the big thing that I think everybody sees is these bigger fishing events we do. We do them in Lighthouse Point, Florida, at Hillsborough Inlet. We do one at Jensen Beach up at Rufus Wakeman's place at a Little Palm Cottages.
Yeah, I know Rufus very well.
Because Rufus gives us the whole place, and we shut it down, and every veteran gets one of those cottages, and they get picked up at the dock behind Rufus's. We do an offshore and inshore day. It's awesome up there. And I'm trying to think. D-Day Response Group. I know you know them too. D-Day is the one who hosts that event.
Okay, so I did a bunch of first aid videos with D-Day Response Group.
Right, right. Yeah. So Don and Cecilia were the ones who got that whole Jensen Beach River Palm Cottages event started. Now it's like a staple. We do it every year, and then we do a Montauk event the third week of every June, where we have all the guys coming to Montauk, and we do an offshore day, and then the second day they get to pick different events in Montauk to do. They can go see a lighthouse. They can go to Roosevelt House. They can go. We pick with the second day we do a bunch of stuff like that. That's where Skip came into this. For the last 9 years. Skip every year consecutively. Skip has donated the charter, and it was kind of an interesting thing now that Skip's, he's facing the trouble of all these COVID-19 guidelines. It's like now our turn to circle back and help him. So that's how I met Skip, was through FFO up in Montauk.
And then with circling around when Cody and Brooke doing Save Our Charter Boats, you guys have been able to hook up and then put Skip. It's actually the first out-of-state raffle that will be done with Save Our Charter Boats.
That's cool. And Cody was. I thought it was neat that I was able to set Skip up with Cody, because Cody and Brooke already started a really good thing down here. And when Cody was telling me he wanted to expand, I threw Skip out there right away. And knowing that Last Man Go Boat Works and Freedom Fighter Outdoors were going to get involved to help, I thought it was a good way for us to announce how we want to help Cody and Brooke behind the Save Charter Boat. And say, by the way, here's Skip, and we're kind of bringing Skip in while we're getting on board too.
That's perfect, and I know it's been in the works for a couple of weeks now, but it's been very hush hush until the press releases and everything went out. I think this is the first the official announcement right here. So go figure. Let the loudmouth Cuban bring it out. I've been helping Cody and Brooke. This has been their baby. I have, luckily for me, I have a nice reach on social media. I jump in live whenever they're doing their lives. I'm a board member of their 5013C as well. And then this weekend there was some stuff coming along with all these lives that I was doing. I was doing it for the West Palm Beach Boat Show as well. So I was doing 2 lives a day. And I called Cody. I said, hey, listen, here's a thought. You talk to your wife about it. I have this reach. I don't want to do the drawings. That's your guys' thing. But at least we can maybe make the announcements on these daily lives that I do, or interview the captains that have won the opportunity to get a trip that they're going to do the raffle for, and then give them the opportunity to jump on these lives, talk about their boats, talk about their charter operations, and have the opportunity to show it to everybody across the world. Just here right now, I've seen Cameroon jump in, the entire East Coast. I see Chip Van Moles from Hawaii in here, David Chin in Costa Rica. So and those are just the pages I'm looking at. It's a really big thing, and the more we can spread the word between Save the Charter Boats and then you guys with Freedom Fighter Outdoors, it just makes it better for everybody.
Right.
It makes it better for everybody.
No, I agree. Well, I was going to say, it's an interesting thing that you just brought up, how you got involved because of your reach, and what you're good at doing is getting things out there, and you have a good reach and a good following, right? So now you're doing a good thing by doing Save the Chart, helping out Cody and Brooke with this. That was what I was going to say, is one of the reasons we want to get involved is because I started out when I was 18, 19 on charter boats. And my new mate, his name's JJ Graham. I just took him off the Marlin Darlin out of Bahia Mar in Fort Lauderdale. He was with the Marlin Darlin for 5 years. And I just hired him February 15th, right before all this COVID stuff started.
Wow.
So if you think about the funny things in life that happen to people at sometimes, like for me, I get this job with Jimmy Buffett. And then through the job with Jimmy Buffett, I'm able to kind of catapult and launch Freedom Fighter Outdoors because of the reach that I have through Jimmy. So where I'm getting at is, I guess, you're using your platform for good. I'm trying to do the best I can with the platform I have and use it for good. And I think if we all do that, we'll end up in a good place here, and we can help a lot of people.
Well, that's and I mentioned anybody that spends time with me fishing on a boat or traveling with me or just doing anything, they learn that one of the things I'm very, very big about is our fishing community. I call it a fraternity. We always help each other out. Whenever a boat's broken offshore, you don't leave them offshore. You don't say, "Hey, listen, let me drop you off some dinner, and if you're here in the morning, I'll help you out."
Yeah.
No, everybody stays out until that guy gets back home safe, and or it could be at the dock, and you can't get your engine started to go out fishing, and you try to get him started so he can go out fishing. He doesn't miss a day of fishing because every single day adds up. Lost my attention. I saw Kevin Stoop jump in from Dubai. So again, it's nice that we can kind of share this all the way across and see that this is global. It is global. Along with your page and your platform with your boss. This is a great way to give back, not just to the fishing community, but to the guys and ladies that help protect our freedom,
Right.
which is a huge thing. Now, were you in the service?
No, I was so I started to deal with a Marine recruiter for about 3 months prior to when Spider and Jason called me for my first interview for the Margaritaville Manhole Jimmy Buffett program.
Uh huh.
And I remember I had 3 interviews before I was told that I got the job. After my second interview, I had to go back down to meet with the Marine recruiter in Miami. And I told him, I said, excuse me, I said, the crazy thing is, I said, I can believe it. I said, I got this job offer with the whole Jimmy Buffett program through Spider and Drayson. And I said, I honestly, I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't think I was getting the job anyway. I really didn't. At that point, I was young and I knew there was some guys that had more experience than me, so I just didn't think I was getting it. So I tell the Marine recruiter, and I'm expecting him to say like, "Oh, we already done your ASVAB, your physical. You have a duty. We've already put a lot of time and effort into you." He looked right at me and said, "Well, what are you doing here?" And he was like, "I would go take that job right now." He's like, "If that was me, I'd be doing that." And he's like, he's like, "You have an opportunity here to do something." And I remember I looked at him. I said, "So you're not going to tell me, you have a duty to serve?" And I remember, and this didn't hit me at all at the moment like it does now. Like he was like, "You'll figure out a way to serve." He says, "But I would take that opportunity and go run with that one." He says, You're not going to get that again in your life. Go do it." He says, if it doesn't work out, come back in and see me." And so he just lets me go, and I still keep in touch with him to this day. But my younger brother went in the Marine Corps 4 years later. That's when the guilt set in with me bad, because I'm sitting here thinking, and you know just how it is working on a private boat. I'm sitting here thinking like my brother and his friends, they're spending a week long on navigational courses out in the woods of Virginia, and they're doing all this. They're freezing as he's going through TBS, the basic school. This is just as he's going in. I'm like, these guys are getting wrecked. Like they're just like putting it all on the line, and I'm fishing with celebrities. It wasn't adding up or registering in my mind at all. So I started to feel real guilty, and the guilt is how Freedom Fighter Outdoors started. I said I got to do something to give back, and the irony in what that Marine recruiter said to me was, "You'll figure out a way to serve." Is I ended up figuring out a way to do something.
It's funny, Danny Iberg and Danny. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Danny's retired New York Police Department. He says you are serving just in a different way. You are serving just in a different way. So listen, we all have a calling. We all have a gift. And some people go and do their own thing because they're looking to make money, or they go get an education and they decide they're going to do that and they don't use their gift. But sometimes your gift is something else, and if you don't do it, if you don't use it, you're wasting your gift. And I don't know. I'm a believer in, if you're doing your gift when you wake up in the morning and you want to jump out of bed. That's kind of my personal thing. My girlfriend, we were just laughing about it yesterday. She's like, "I wish I can jump out of bed like you do." Because every day, and even the days that I do set an alarm clock, very rarely do I do. But the days I do, I jump, literally every day, I jump right out of bed. I want to get the day started. I'm looking forward. I don't know what today's going to bring. And listen, in today's world with COVID-19, there's so many things that are spinning upside down. There's people that have lost their jobs, lost income. Mind you, I'm one of them. One of my tournaments got completely canceled. I have another one that is my people can't travel, and I still wake up every day because I know I get to talk to people about fishing and
Yeah.
boats and some really really cool stuff. And I do it because I love it. I mean, think about it. For me, I knew what my passion was when I was a kid. I loved to go fishing, and as I got older, I got the opportunity to get paid to do it. Well, after a while, I don't want to say I got tired of catching fish because that's not true. I just enjoy sharing it with people more than just catching them. I enjoy sharing the opportunities of going out there, and you're really doing the same thing with the freedom fighters. You're giving them
Right.
the opportunity to go fishing and be outdoors, and more so because you were out serving for our country,
Yeah.
which is
No,
huge.
yeah, no, it's funny. I'll say this, like, I remember one time my boss, Jimmy Buffett, said to me, he said, sometimes guilt breeds generosity, right? This was going back to what I was saying, like, about how I got started with doing this, and like to bury that guilt of feeling like I didn't serve, I walked out on that recruiter, I didn't do this or that. This is my way of doing it. But the whole theme of guilt breeds generosity for me is where I go take it back to with Freedom Proud Doors. For me, that's what, made me feel better about myself for, walking out of that recruiter's office that day and watching these guys, like you said, they go through all these sacrifices and they bring home the scars of war and all that. And this is a little thing we can do for them to make them realize that they matter, that they're appreciated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's talk, and I'm sure everybody saw it, and I hate to circle back around, but we have you on here, so I want to talk about it. For those of you that spend any time on social media, you guys have seen the complete refit you guys did of your Freeman.
Right.
So tell us a little about, and I have to admit, and I'm biased because of my relationship with Roy Merritt. So tell
The
us
Godfather.
exactly, man. Has he ever told you who gave him that name?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know you did. That's why
Yeah.
I laugh about it. That's why I joke with them and call them that now.
It's so funny because when I worked on the reel tide all them years, we spent a lot of time at the yard, and as we spent time there, I noticed and I'm not going to mention names just to protect the innocent and the guilty, but I saw how many boat builders would come to the yard and ask for advice. And here's a guy who has no college degree. He graduated high school. He worked in his family's boatyard. And to this day, if I ask him a question about a boat, he pulls out a yellow legal pad like this,
Yeah.
pulls a pen out of his pocket or a pencil, and he draws exactly what he's trying to achieve on his boat. And I learned that the hard way because if I ever asked him that question next to my boat, he would grab that same pencil and write on my hull. And here I have to now polish the whole damn 80-foot side of it. And if you get half of it, you might as well do the other half.
Yeah.
So I learned really quick, only ask him the questions in his office. But but yeah, when so many people look at you for information, you're like the Godfather. So that's why I started calling him the Godfather.
It's
And
appropriate.
it really is. It really is. And sometimes I get a phone call and hey, I heard you're doing this. I'm like, how the hell do you know this?
The Godfather.
Because he's the Godfather. Somebody told him. Somebody dropped the dime on me, man. So you guys took this haul from Freeman, and just if you could walk everybody through it.
Okay, so we had a 42 Rivage walk around that was actually going to get repowered at Merritt's. We were going to put new power in it. We are going to put a gyro in it, all this stuff. So it was going to be down for months. So as an interim boat, so we had a boat to use. We bought a used 33 Freeman pilot house. The reason Freeman had only built that one pilot house, but we knew it was out there. We talked to the owner who had it. He wasn't even for sale. We asked him if he was willing to sell it. He said yes. We get it from him. that's going to be our interim boat because this was in May and we were just getting ready to do our Northeast season up in the Northeast, Montauk to Cape Cod stuff. So the pilot house is why we wanted it, so we could stay out of the fog and the weather. We used that boat that summer and, cruised at 40 knots in the pilot house. And mind you, this is only a 33 Freeman with twins. We had so many days where somebody would call us 40 miles away and say, man, the bluefins are just boiling. They're on top. It's happening right now. We could be there in an hour, whereas that would have took us over an hour and a half in the Rybovich, right? And we were also realizing at 40 knots most days, we were actually getting there really comfortable with the way that boat rode. So the idea started of maybe we should build a bigger one, something with a little more range, more comforts, all that stuff. So we went and talked to the guys at Freeman, Billy Freeman and Scott Cothran, and said, hey, would you be willing to sell us a hull, just a hull and a cap deck? That's it. And we're going to bring it to Roy Merritt and let the Merritt guys put a house on it. And we had already discussed with Roy, if they say yes, are you willing to do this? We had all the pieces in play, and so Billy Freeman and Scott say yes. We already knew that Roy was on board. We trailer down this hull and deck from Freeman. Shows up at Roy's place. It showed up at Roy's place in March of 19, and we were done July 23rd of 2019. I think I saw you there in June. We were just about done when I saw you.
Yes, you were just finishing up, and you guys hadn't even. I don't know if you guys.
I don't think we ran it yet.
No, I don't think you guys ran it. It was. I think it was right before the World Cup. I had just come home from all my different traveling around, and I was getting ready for the World Cup. So that's when I usually show it back up somewhere in June, second or third week. And then I just go in full lockdown mode, get ready for the tournament. And you were telling me you were getting ready to leave. And then we talked about maybe doing a video about the whole thing. And then I believe we came home and all this stuff started.
Yeah. So what's crazy is, like you said, like if anybody's been on social media, they've probably seen the boat. What Freeman Boat Works and those Freeman boats have so much momentum in the industry. Everybody's following them. Everybody wants one. All that stuff. I mean, like they have a hell of a following. They got a lot of momentum. Through doing something different with a Freeman, like bringing it to Merritt's and putting a house on it, we got so much attention on social media. Just like my own personal social media blew up. People started following me just to see if I would see a picture, see if they would see a picture of the boat, and then we had this idea that for a couple of years prior, it was really when we started doing the Freedom Fighter Outdoor stuff and people started posting a lot about social media about what we were doing. Some pictures of our 42 Rybovich started getting out there because we were very private. We never posted any pictures. We didn't put anything out there. Well, when those pictures started to get out, Jimmy Buffett's Instagram and Facebook was getting messages. Hey, could we buy a boat shirt? Hey, could we buy a boat shirt? And we weren't selling boat shirts, but if we met somebody, we were constantly giving out to anybody cool you meet on the docks or whatever. If somebody messaged me and was like, oh, my mom's a fan, I'd mail them a shirt, do all that nice stuff. So one day at lunch, Jimmy says to me, I get so many messages about people buying these shirts. And I said, yeah, me too. I said, I probably get 25 to 50 messages a month. And he was like, I'm getting hundreds. And of course, because he's got a hell of a following, and any of his fans want anything he has, right? So he says, I really don't need to get into the t-shirt business like that. I don't need to make money off of my own boat shirts by any means. He said, but what if we did start like a Last Mango apparel line and all the profits went to charity? He says, now we're doing something good. And it's just like we just talked about a few minutes ago, using your platform for good, like using it for good. So once we had tabled this conversation for 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden when we got this Freeman boat and the social media blew up, people were messaging, commenting on all Jimmy's stuff, post pictures of your boat. We were like, all right, maybe it's a sign that we should just kick this thing off right now, and while, strike while the iron's hot kind of thing. We got a lot of momentum. Everybody wants to see the boat. We'll launch this apparel line and see if we can do anything good. So the apparel line's been out since February 17th. We shut it down March 17th due to COVID-19.
So it was only open for 1 month.
1 month.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize it was that new.
And we did over 500 shirts and 300 hats in a month. I mean, that's pretty good. So, we just reopened on Friday, the 15th, May 15th, and we're back open, and we did real good over the weekend. A lot of people work. Every month we're going to come out with a few new things. Like June 1st, we're going to come out with Yeti cups, and we got some women's jewelry coming out with the shark fin logo and stuff. So we got cool things coming.
I need to stop you just for 1 second, just for one little second, because I'm really big on shout outs, but when I'm interviewing somebody, I always want to give respect to you, but I got to give a big shout out to your wife, Sarah. Your wife, Sarah, is literally jumping in. Every time you say something, she puts the link right on the page. I mean, she is just like, wha-bam, wha-bam. So she has put up Last Mango Boatworks. She has posted up Before Freedom Fighters. And now, mind you, I'm jumping between pages to make sure I'm not missing any like really cool comments that somebody has to ask. And I'm watching your wife throw out links like, I mean, she's like on it. So big shout out to Sarah.
She's in this house somewhere.
No, I'm sure. And I
probably in the bedroom.
So a big thumbs up to the flag emoji, but I have to ask the kissy face emoji with the heart. Is that for me or for your husband? I gotta ask. I just gotta ask.
I know the answer to that one.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm watching. I mean, literally, you say it, and because between you and I talking, and it gets over to Facebook and social media, there's like a 30 to 40 second lag, and I don't think there's a minute lag when she says something. But I mean, she is on the ball. So
that's hilarious.
Big shout out to Sarah. Wait a second. She goes, I'm in the garage stuffing shirt orders.
I was just gonna say, and that's why she's all over this. Is Sarah with Freedom Fighter Outdoors? Sarah does all the logistics. She flies in all the veterans. She's booking the meals. She's booking the hotel. So she does all that. And now with Last Mango, when we started, we said, we don't know how big this is going to get. Let's test the waters, right? So we wanted to learn a little bit about our customers. Who's buying stuff, what part of the country they're buying stuff, what's selling most, so we could figure out what to launch. So Sarah was like, well, I'll do the fulfillment. She's doing fulfillment a couple hours a day right now. I mean, it's really turned into something. So we're going to have to figure something out soon, but that's the best problem to have that we could possibly have.
You know what I just found out? Your wife's a politician as well. She just said, here's one for each of you. And there's 2 emojis. Yes. Oh, Sarah for office. Love it. See, this is what the BS is all about. There's no scripts here. There's no scripts. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. What we have bullet points I want to cover. After that, we go on tangents. Little did I know we were going to talk about your fulfillment warehouse in the garage. But still, I think that's pretty damn awesome. It's all in-house. There's a lot of heart and love behind it. Not only is it for a good cause, but it's, you have, when you're doing something because you love it, it doesn't never feel like you're working.
100%. I think you and I are lucky enough to know that. And I don't know if everybody knows that, but you and I are, which we're lucky.
There are some people that know, but I think about it every day. When I wake up. So yeah, to me, it's a really, really big thing. And it shows when you're doing something, it shows. Hold on a second. Dave Dunn, thank you so much. Josh Wilkinson, I started everything out of my garage. Josh Wilkinson owns Boaters Planet up in I believe it's Arlington, Virginia area. So he's been a big follower for a long time. His son Liam, I believe Liam's 7 or 8 years old. And I get a lot of Liam pictures. Liam, send this picture to Fly. Let Fly know what I caught. So it's to me, it's a really big deal. So you got Last Mango. That's how you started it. You just relaunched it. And I would ask, where does somebody find this place to buy these shirts? But Sarah's already taken care of that. So you guys offer hats and shirts. What else?
Shirts.
What else do you guys offer?
Right now, we got two different styles of shirt and 2 different colors. So there's gray and seafoam green in 2 different style shirts.
Which is your boat color? The color of your boat.
Everything that we got is pretty much seafoam. Paddle boards, everything we got seafoam. And then we have Richardson 112 hat, 2 different colors, a gray and a black, and then we got Flex Fit gray and black. And then we just launched. We're doing this thing where the people who are involved in Last Mango Boatworks, like one of the other shirts we have, we call it the JB shirt. He's on a paddleboard. He loves to catch bonefish off a paddleboard, so we did a silhouette of him on a paddleboard. And then the next month we came out with the Spider hat because Spider Andresen, our fleet captain, so we call it the Spider hat. And then we have the Darren hat, which is so Spider's hat is his favorite hat that he wears, and then the Darren hat is Darren's favorite hat that he wears. And Darren is on the management side of Jimmy, and he was a big supporter. He was really involved in helping Last Mango start. Like Darren does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. If we do a Freedom Fighter Outdoors event, Jimmy donates a lot of Margaritaville product, and he signs a lot of stuff for the veterans. Well, Darren coordinates a lot of that, so that's how important and what a silent supporter he is. So we thought it was actually Sarah's idea, since she's on here. I got to give her the credit. Sarah said, I really think when we do come out with these new items, if you really need to name them after the people who, are involved. Like, for example, I'm getting a lot of credit for the whole Last Mango Boatworks, but I mean, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that started, just like Freedom Fighter Outdoors. There's a whole team of people that are involved in it, even though I might look like I'm doing everything. It takes a village. So anyway, we got the Darren hat, we got the Spider hat, and then June 1st, we're coming out with Yeti cups, 2 different sizes. We got jewelry coming out for women. We got a women's, actually, I forgot one. We got women's shirts. There's women's shirts on there, and there's youth shirts.
Actually, it's so funny. There's a conversation going on right now about that. Your wife's already answered it. But say it anyway, because I want it on video. Because
she's probably like, you forgot women's shirts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But somebody's like, what about kids' shirts? And your wife's like, oh, we have women's sizes.
We do. We have youth shirts.
Yeah, no. She jumped on it, I mean, like, right off the bat. So I see how this is working. This is good. This is a team. We should do this more often. Just ask you questions. And I feel like, who wants to be a millionaire? Can I phone a friend? Can I ask the audience? How about can I ask my wife?
No, you might need Sarah as Baba Booey in the corner for you.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. Because most of the time it's just me. People think I have the answer. Because I get so many. Hey, Fly, I really want to do this. Who should I call? And people think I have the answer for it all, and I really don't. I either have Google or I have a friend that knows a friend that has the number. When you've been fishing for a living for almost 30 years, I have guys all over the world that I can call and say, hey, somebody wants to go fishing in, name the spot. And, wow, how do you know that guy? It's 30 years. It's,
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing, but I have to look at myself in the mirror for the help. You got your lovely wife to help you.
She is the glue, though. She keeps this. Like, the funny thing, when we started Freedom Fighter Outdoors, remember I said we started in May of 2009. So 2009, I met Sarah in 2011. In 2009, the veterans were coming in and driving them, leaving their homes in Florida at 2 a.m. to get to me by 6, 7 a.m. And then we'd fish all day and they would drive home. When I met Sarah, she was like, wait a second. She's like, no. She's like, she's like, no, they should come in the night before. We have dinner, get them acclimated, tell them how, tell them everything from fighting belts. This is what's going to happen if you catch a sailfish. We're going offshore. Make sure they understand they're going offshore. Because a lot of these guys were like, wait a second, we're going on the ocean? You know what I mean? A lot of the guys from the Midwest. So anyway, she was like, this is how it's got to be. So then she started with gift bags, and then it turned into a 3-day event and a 4-day event. So you could see this now that you're seeing what's happening behind the scenes with her. She's the glue. She keeps a lot of it going, and she's puts in so much of the input. Like I said, how we're going to name a lot of these products with Last Mango to mean something to people who are involved and put a name behind. We're telling a story. Well, you're a good storyteller. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. We're telling a story, and for people to want to be a part of this brand and buy things, it's important that they see that this isn't money driven. It's about a bunch of people who I know all the people surrounding it are great people. That when you're surrounded by good people, good things will happen. So, and we can all make a difference. And I think that's the thing that I was going to say too, is we're going to start a youth ambassador program where we're going to outfit some 8 to 16-year-old boys and girls with Last Mango gear and tell them if the way that they have to become a Last Mango ambassador, we're going to launch this in June, and say that they have to apply and have a charity that they want to support. It could be anything. I mean, it could be litter pickup, it could be beach cleanup, it could be Save the Turtles, whatever they want. And we will help them do more for the charity that they want to do more for. We'll help them, bring awareness to it. Well, if they want to get some of their friends together to do something, maybe we'll send them all Last Mango hat or stickers and gift bags, help get people on board, help them fundraise, whatever. And the way that started was the same thing that I keep circling back to, is that Freedom Fighter Outdoors got so much traction because I worked for Jimmy Buffett, and Jimmy Buffett put his blessing on it, right? So if I didn't have that, it might not have gone anywhere, right? So I had somebody behind me. So there's so many people in this world who I've had a lot of people who buy the Last Mango gear and say, this is such a great way to support. I've been trying to figure out a way to support something. So many good people out there, I think, just lack the ability to figure out, they want to do something good, but they don't know where to go or what to do or how to funnel the energy or money or whatever it is to do something good with.
And sometimes that's all it is having just a little bit of a focus, push it in the right direction, and like you said, give a little bit of a blessing. Once people see that blessing, it goes a long way.
Right. So we're going to try to give people, give them a way to do something good and help them, giving them the first little push. So that's the point of our Youth Ambassador program that we're going to launch here in June 2, which is pretty neat. I'm looking forward to it. For this first year, we're just going to pick 2 boys and 2 girls and see what happens.
Can they be recommended?
Yeah.
Okay. I have somebody that I'm kind of partial to, but I'm not going to talk about it on the air.
All right.
I'll just send you the information and let you guys make the choice. I want to throw him on your radar. That's all. I think he's a cool little fishing dude. So
all right.
I think he's going to replace me one day. To be honest with you, he's going to take over Caesar and just knock me out, put me out the pasture at a whopping 11 years old.
Nice.
I think at 11 years old, he's out fishing me right now anyway. So, all right. So you're doing this with Freedom Fighters. You're doing this with Last Mango. And then here comes Save the Charter Boats. Now, I'm assuming, because I haven't seen all of your programs with Freedom Fighters, it's more than just one boat going out. It's more than just the Last Mango going out. You guys are getting some charter boats.
5 to 7 boats an event, yeah.
So you guys are already entrenched in local fishing communities where you guys are dealing with these charter boats. Is that your thunder or mine?
That's yours.
Okay.
It's coming here, but it's got to be yours.
Yeah. I'm watching the dog start getting nervous again. Like I said earlier, we had the hail and the lightning, and I had to go live. So you guys are entrenched with these local communities, with the local charter boats, and COVID-19 comes in and it shuts everything down. This isn't a slowdown of anything. This is a complete shutdown, and it's really hurt a lot of businesses. But in our industry, between tackle shops and charter boats, it's been a showstopper. So with Cody and Brooke starting up Save the Charter Boats, it kind of goes hand in hand with what you guys have been working with, the charter boats that have been donating to your cause. Now it's their time of need.
Right. And now, so like I said, like Skip's there's a lot of charter boat captains who've done what Skip did or does, like the last 9 consecutive years, Skip donates a charter and to the veterans every 3rd week of June in Montauk, like clockwork. He looks forward to it. The guys always, there's like a fight on the dock for the guys that request being on his boat when we all line up to put everybody on the boat. Oh, am I going with Skip? Am I going with Skip? He's that kind of guy. I mean, you know that. I mean, everybody knows that. So Skip was one of the first people I thought of to hook up with Cody, because you know how it is. Like there's and I'm not calling anybody out, but how there's charter boat captains who it's like their fun job, who they've already retired from a job, and it's not like make or break. They're doing it for just
to go out fishing, offset the expenses.
Yeah, there's those guys, and then there's guys like Skip, and this is Skip's livelihood. He's been doing it his whole life. It's how he puts food on the table. So he was one of the first people I thought of. So through Last Mango, we're going to donate all profits to charity, and the 2 charities that we're going to support with Last Mango: Freedom Fighter Outdoors and Singing for Change. Singing for Change is Jimmy Buffett's charity that he donates $1 per ticket sale to. every year. $1 of every ticket he sells to his shows goes to Singing for Change, and then Singing for Change, other 501c3s apply to Singing for Change, and then they write grants to all sorts of charities. Like kids, autistic kids going surfing, Save the Manatees, all sorts of charities. They put money everywhere to help people out. So the other thing that we said when we started this is if little things pop up in the community, any community that really kind of hit home with us or means something, we'll try to, fund a little, the money, God willing, we'll fund a little money here or there. So when we heard about this, I was like, this is something that's so close to home because the charter boat captains have been so instrumental in Freedom Fighter Outdoors. If those guys didn't donate trips, we have such a huge expense of flying the guys in the hotels that we're lucky that a lot of the charter boat captains fully donate the charters, right? So now it's our turn to take care of them. So we've been lucky. Like I said, that first month we did so good with Last Mango that we're taking some money, and it's going to directly affect some of the upcoming raffles that Cody and Brooke are putting on. And I know Skip's is this coming Friday, and I'm going to try to plug it for him this week pretty good. This Friday at 8 p.m., Cody said it's going on. So it'll be neat. So every captain coming up, I think there's other sponsors. I know American Custom Yachts is doing something.
American Custom Yachts. Also, there's Bass Pro. There's Fisherman Center. There's a lot of different companies that are in our community. Hey, put it back on, dude. Put it back on. Thank you. The horns came out. Actually, I'm just teasing you, dude. I'm just teasing you. That was all. First of all, let me give a big shout out. Cody, thank you for answering that question. Somebody was a little confused. They thought you guys were Save the Charter Boats. But it's you guys are partnering up with Save the Charter Boats.
We're just supporting them.
Okay,
we're just supporting.
That was one of the companies. One of the people was asking. Cody answered his question.
All right, yeah. Cody and Brooke Holcomb at Save the Charter Boats is their Instagram. Save the Charter Boats has a Facebook. And I know that everybody who wants to purchase a raffle ticket to support the charter boat captains can go to the Save the Charter Boat social media and, buy a raffle ticket and support it the nights where the raffles are.
So what we're trying to do, and we're talking about the platform and our reach, one of the things that I spoke with Cody and Brooke about was the day of, get the captain that has the opportunity. So I'm going to put this on your shoulders. Make sure that Skip has Skype so he can call in, and we can interview Skip so everybody knows who they're
supporting, right?
Yeah, who they're supporting, a little bit about what he catches. Somebody may say, I've always wanted to catch a striped bass. I have to enter this. So there's just different ways of, again, spreading the word, getting it out there. Let people know what's going on and what's happening, because there's so many good things that are happening right now. Because, we're in it together. I mean, and going back to, I got to go back to Cody and Brooke about this, just so people that don't know Cody and Brooke, what's going on with COVID-19 has even when at first we were first started to shut down, it kind of reminded me of getting ready for a hurricane, and where you're like, oh, we're going to be shut down, and you're in the house, and the first thing you do is you eat all the snacks, and you're waiting on weather. But there was no actual event. It's just like this big strung out long thing. And going back to after Hurricane Dorian sat on top of the Abacos for 38 hours, Cody and Brooke put together the Abaco Relief. And they were literally shipping unbelievable amounts of stuff over to the Abacos for months. To help everybody out. I believe they're still doing stuff. I don't know exactly. Facebook. Oh, thank you, Brooke. She just put the link on there. But yeah, they are constantly doing things, and it's how they started their 5013C, which is Coastal Hope. Anybody that lives on the water or around water that's affected by some kind of a disaster, they want to be able to help, and it's their kind of way of giving back. It's a big thing.
Yeah. No, I was really happy. It's funny. The Marlin Republic Instagram wrote me a message and said, "Hey, would you want to share the Save the Charter Boats?" He must have probably just reached out to a bunch of people. And then when I looked it up, that's when I don't remember who followed who, but I ended up hooking up with Cody, and we started talking about it, and that's when the wheel started spinning. But it's easy to get behind a good cause, and I feel like Cody, you know Cody better than I do, but he's like one of those people when you start talking to him, you immediately know his heart's in the right place, and there's no
Absolutely.
ulterior motive, and there's no agenda. I could tell that right away. That's why right away I was like, yeah, I will get on board with this one.
He definitely won, him and his wife, and I do enjoy watching the lives. It's him and his wife and their dog. Does yeah, Hank the French bulldog. I
Bulldog,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, and if you're lucky enough, if I'm on there, I will find a way to make sure that Cody gets hit with the yardstick. If I repeat something enough, his wife says, "Okay, that's enough. You say it again, I'm going to hit Cody." And what's the first thing I do? I repeat it like 10 times. I just want to see her beat the shit out of him. And then I go fishing with Cody 2 days later. He's like, "Thanks, man. She just kicked the shit out of me." You know. Oh, I got the whooping stick. That's right. You got the whooping stick. But it's a good cause, and I know one of the first boats that got picked for the raffle. It was Patrick Price, and I was just talking with him today about trying to get him on here. But I know it's somebody that Cody reaches out to a lot when Cody's going out fishing. Here's a guy that he always reaches out to for information. Hey, what's biting? Where are they biting? Where should I go? And then here he's a charter guy and he's in dire straits. So Cody's like, let me return the favor. You've always pointed me in the right direction of where to go fishing. Now let me help you and put something together. And you can watch this thing kind of blossom like a flower, like a plant. It's for me, it's pretty neat to watch it happening.
100%. I agree with you. The crazy thing about when Cody was telling me the story about Pat Price, the daymaker, Pat Price, they donate a charter at the Jensen Beach event that we do at Rufus's place.
Oh,
So, yeah, there's a lot of connections here. And yeah,
that's
these guys do a lot of good and they've done a lot of good. And that's why immediately, like, we're like, all right, now it's our turn. Now we have to figure out a way to do something for them.
It's like the fishing. It's a fraternity, man. It's a fraternity. I'm watching everybody comment. Just make again. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything huge. There's been a lot of different questions, and your wife's answered most. She's a rock star, dude. She's answering all the questions. I don't even have to throw them out there. I mean, she's like, well, bam, well, bam. So, this is my favorite question. I'm going to throw it out to your wife. If she can answer it, then literally, I don't know what to do with the rest of my life because every time I go out to dinner, and the waitress will say, "Do you guys have any questions?" And my question is always, well, if nothing sticks to Teflon, how do they get it to stick to the pan? And everybody's lost. Everybody's lost. So you have to be very careful. If you throw out there like, "Do you have any questions about the menu?" Then I'm screwed. I have no questions. But if you just throw out there questions, the other one I always have is, why do you park on a driveway and drive on a parkway? These are world questions. And nobody can answer these. But if your wife can pull this out, we're jamming. We're jamming. I'm telling you what. We really are. Zach McDonald, let us know if we can help. I know we posted for both FFO Daily Sport Fishing. Zach McDonald. I know Zach McDonald has shared quite a bit on the Instagram page, Daily Sport Fishing. Not only about the Save the Charter page, but also the contest number where Cody periodically texts out information. It's something I use for all my tournaments to keep everybody up to date on all who's catching what. So you don't have to keep getting, let me check my Facebook. No, it's just a text messaging service. I'm like, Cody, here, use it. I got it.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey guys, we're going live in an hour. This is who's raffling, where they're going. He gives out all the information. So, wait a second. Okay. I'm going to ask the question. I'm so setting you up for failure, bro. But
Oh
you
no,
see it. Ask Vinny about the importance of healthy releases. Do you know who would send in such a question?
Dennis Friel.
Yeah. Did you read it already?
No.
It's so Dennis Friel. And I wouldn't normally set you up for a failure, but Dennis is a very good friend of mine. So I took the chance. And he goes, trust me. So we're gonna go, because this is the Dennis Friel 5 minutes, or at least 2.5 minutes. So Dennis says, Fly, I want you on my podcast, Connected by Water, which is, I don't know if you've ever been on it. It's a great
I was.
podcast.
Me and Sarah were.
So I drive all the way down there. First of all, the address he gave me was wrong. But that's a different story. I go early. I get there 15 minutes early, but it's like at a Panera Bread. I'm like, bro, please do not tell me we're broadcasting from Panera Bread. And nothing against Panera. It's just I wanted something a little bit more private. So I get to his office, and then it's like a maze of office rooms. So I couldn't find it. He needs to send somebody to come and get me. And I says, hey, what's your format here? He goes, man, we're just talking. We're very similar to this. I go, do we have a time frame? Because I had just done a podcast where after 30 minutes they shut me down. And I'm like, wait, I'm in the middle of a story. You can't shut me down in the middle of a story. I says, this is a regular podcast on the internet, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, F it. Give me 15 more minutes. Let me finish my story. So Dennis is like, bro, we can talk for as long as you want. So we start rapping about all the different things we've done over the years and how our paths cross at Jimmy Johnson or at this place or at that place. Picture here, picture there, his sister, all these different things. And then we hear a knock on the door. And it's like, what's up with the knock? He goes, damn, Fly, my next interview's in. I got to cut this off. I go, how long have we been talking? We talked for like 2 hours and 30 minutes. We talked about everything. We were talking about all kinds of fishing things. Hey, Zach McDonald already posted on Daily Sport Fishing. See how this fishing community works? People don't understand it. The greatest thing about social media is how our fishing community is so intertwined.
I was going to say,
really
Zach
is.
has done a lot to help us with Freedom Fighter Outdoors and Last Mango. He did a bunch of posts for Last Mango because he knew all the profits were going to charity. He did a story for us, and we sold like 25 shirts in 10 minutes right after he put it on his story. And I ended up sending Zach, I know you're listening, I ended up sending Zach a shirt. Then he texted me like a day or two later, and he texted me a picture in front of Air Force One wearing the shirt. I still want to share that picture, but I never asked him.
Hey, Zach, is it okay if he shares that picture of you in front of Air Force One? This is the perfect time. So this is almost like confession hall, just so you know, because the other day somebody jumped on my live feed that I had called 3 days earlier, and they never returned my phone call. So I called them out on it. I'm like, dude, you called me up 3 days ago, and you wanted to do something. I called you, and you don't call. I'm sorry. I'll call you right after this. Okay, not a problem. But at the same time, I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. When I see somebody come out here and I forgot to return their call, oh man, I'm so sorry. Everybody, I dropped the ball. He's wearing it right now, he says.
Oh, what a good guy.
He's wearing it right now.
He's a nice guy.
Hey, Zach, you're kicking the can down the thing. Oh, absolutely. Do you still have the photo?
I do.
Okay.
That's a cool photo. All right, I'm putting it up. We're putting it up.
Put it up there. Put it up there. And it was a picture of him in front of Air Force One. Was he on the tarmac, or was he on the outside of the fence?
It's just a picture of him with his bat. He's looking at Air Force One, and you could just see the plane in the background with the Last Mango shirt on.
Okay, that's pretty cool. There was one day
cool.
We were fishing off the breakers, and for those of you that don't know, home for me is Palm Beach County. This is where I grew up. And Palm Beach International is right down the road from me. And as I'm taking pictures of fish jumping, you saw a plane that was bigger than normal taking off. It's like, we don't get 747s here, and it just so happened to be Air Force One. and
Nice.
just taking some snapshots. And it's not something you see every day. You know, it's one of those things. You know, whatever side, I don't care. And I'm not trying to make this political. Just as a kid, and that's what I am. I'm a 16-year-old kid that likes to go fishing. Wow, that's cool. You know, so it's always way cool. Girlfriend's home. Hi, Nunu. Hi, Nunu. We're talking worldly stuff here. So just so you know, I call my girlfriend Nunu. Everybody who hasn't heard this story, the first time I go to Dubai, I go to the Dubai Boat Show. And I had been invited several times. I go out there, and I was meeting up with some friends from Saudi Arabia, all a bunch of fishermen. And my buddy, his phone, every time it keeps ringing, and it says, my wife. And when he picks up the phone, he says, Nunu. So I'm thinking, okay, that's his wife's name. So fast forward to later on that evening, we all go out to dinner, and I walk up to his wife and I said, "Oh, Nunu, pleasure to meet you." Every person just drops and starts laughing. And I'm like, okay, what's the joke? Why is everybody laughing at the Cuban American guy? And they're like, why'd you call her Nunu? I says, well, that's what he keeps calling her. I thought that's what her name is. He goes, no, in Arabic, Nunu means, hey, baby. So ever since then, I come back home and I'm like, I got to tell you this story. I feel like such an ass in front of everybody, but you know what? That's just me. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. You might as well get a chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
So, wait a second. Zach says it is actually the previous generation from Reagan's plan. I was messaging Donald Trump Jr. trying to set something up. Oh, okay, cool, Zach. I was just trying to read it. Let's see. Anybody else? Anyway, did I miss anything? Are you sure? Is there anything we want to circle around?
No.
If anybody is jumping in late, your wife, Sarah, has got all the links on here. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm watching one of the new pages I'm broadcasting on, closed caption. I didn't check that out. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so guys, I'm going to give you about 60 seconds. Oh, plane. That was, okay, not plane. That was from Reagan's plane. Just so we know. I'm going to give you guys 60 seconds for any more questions. If not, we're going to sign off. You don't hang up. You stay right there. But I'm going to hang up from the live. And I think that's going to be it. Brooke says thank you very much to you and Sarah. Me as well. Heading to get the first haircut in the first few months. Sarah, thank you so much, Fly, for all you do to support organizations involved. No, listen, it's my pleasure. I love to do anything that helps our industry. I'm a really big... Listen, I would be a divorced teacher with 2.5 children if it wasn't for fishing. And I don't mean that bad in any way other than that's what I went to school for. I went to school to be a teacher, and I discovered our industry, which is fishing. And I was able to follow my passion, and now I've been able to travel the world and share it with everybody. Hold on one second. I have late breaking developing news. Dun, 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 dun. Spanky here from Galati. There is a 113-inch blue marlin coming into the scales tonight for the Orange Beach Billfish Classic. All right, guys, so keep an eye out for that. We have a 113-inch blue marlin coming into the scales tonight for the first tournament out of the Gulf of Mexico. So there you have it. That's the late breaking news. It wasn't... I haven't heard any more thunder, so it's not even like a special weather bulletin. Wait a second. Corey, the Teflon coating frying pan, the food floats on the coating when you are cooking food in it, in the frying pan. I don't know. I think you're making this up. I'm going to have to look into this a little bit more. Give me some footnotes. Where do you get this information from? I want to know. Give me some real scientific data. Brad's Blue Water Gas Company. We are going to contact freedom fighters and save the charter boats. We have to do our part. These are the type of organizations that we want to support. Thanks, Brad. Really appreciate that. Big shout out to you. Thank you so much. Alrighty, all you cool cats and kittens. Have you seen that yet?
Oh yeah, Carol Baskin.
Okay, just saying. That's every once in a while, like Sarah in the background types in, my girlfriend will jump in and say, "All you cool cats and kittens," and it took me 2 or 3 times to remember it. So now that's kind of my way of how I always say goodbye to everybody. So all you cool cats and kittens, we're gonna check you out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I believe I have. I forget who it is, but we're talking about this new shark repellent that's out there. Some test trials and stuff like that. So it's going to be... Oh, and I also have IGFA tomorrow. So we got a bunch of stuff going on. We'll keep everybody out there. Vinny, you stay right there. And I'm signing off. Guys, set your notifications. Hit that share button. If you wouldn't mind, let everybody know what we do every day here in the No BS World Tour, but also to let everybody else know about the Freedom Fighters Outdoors, Save the Charter Boats, Last Mango, and anything else I can't remember off the top of my head. Terry, good to see you. Brooke, we'll talk to you guys later, and we are signing off. Peace out.